What's up guys, it's Big Steve, another electricity video. This time it's for farming. This is for an auto sprinkler system or an auto farm system. It's not going to grab the plants for you, but this is a design that I made the other day, and it's for 3 fluid pumps. This is for a big clan. You need a lot of water for this. I just have some simulated water here, I guess. It might give me infinite, I'm not quite sure. But this is for 3 fluid pumps. And in the description of this video, I'll place the XML file or the XML export for Rustician. If you guys use Rustician, the XML will be there for you to import so that you can play around with it yourself in Rustician if you need to change any values or see how anything works, add some shit to it. But I'm just going to be using a test Jenny right here. We're only going to need 65 power for all of this, and this seems to be the best sprinkler system that I can come up with for right now. So for what you're going to, oh, and excuse the crosshair, sorry, the cursor in the middle of the screen. What you're going to need for this is some sort of power, at least 65 like I said, and 8 electrical branches, 2 blockers, 4 splitters, 2 timers, a switch. You don't need a switch, but the switch is just to turn it off and on if you want the whole system to be powered down. 2 counters, and then of course the 3 fluid pumps, and then a fluid splitter to each of these fluid fluid pumps. So to get started, I'm just going to grab a switch and a couple of electrical branches. Just for simplicity's sake, we're going to put this switch over here, and we're going to leave it powered off. I'm going to leave it powered off for now so this isn't making a bunch of noise. So from here, we're going to place a branch. And we're going to power the branch in. We're going to branch off 5 power for this. This is going to go to another branch. Actually, I'll place it down a little bit more. So the power out of this one is going to come into the next blocker. Sorry, the next power, the next branch. And the branch out is going to go to a splitter. So I'll put my splitters farther down here. Actually, I'll place all of the splitters down here just so that it's not too crazy. It's going to get pretty crazy though. It's going to get pretty complex. So I'm going to place all 4 of my splitters down here. So the branch out is going to come up and over to my first splitter here. And while we're at the splitter, we might as well hook them up to the fluid pumps. This is just the power in for the fluid pumps. So I'm going to bring these across. Actually, I'm going to bring them across and up over to here. Then this is just the power in for the pumps. Sweet. Now our pumps have power. As you can see, a little flow and non-flow. Actually, let me hook this shit up here. The fluid. Might as well. I'm just using 1 sprinkler output for this. Let me hook each of these up to a sprinkler right now. Don't really have to worry about these sprinklers looking too nice. They're just down in here for now. Alright. So we got all our water hooked up. From this, I guess it's going to give me infinite water. Alright, so from the second branch, we're going to branch out 49 power this time. And this is going to go to our second splitter. Branch off is going to go to our second splitter. And the power out is going to go to another branch. There's going to be a lot of this going on. Power out is going to our third branch here. and we're going to branch off 5 power from this. This is the 49. Branch off the splitter. This goes to the electrical branch. So now we're going to go ahead and place the counters. I'm going to place the counters over here so it's a little visual representation. Alright, so this one should be set to 60, this counter, and this counter should be set to, I'm going to set it to 5, but it's how often you want the whole system to be powered. So say you want your sprinklers to power every 5 minutes, then you set it to 5. If you want it every half hour, you set it to 30. We'll get into the timers later. The timer is going to set how long the cycle goes for. So this setup that I'm doing right now is every 5 minutes, the sprinkler system is going to run for 1 minute. But we'll worry about that later. We're just going to set these the counters down for now. And this is our 5 power branch. So we're going to branch off 5 from this, and these are both going to go to our counters. So the branch out of the counter, the branch out of the counter is going to go to the second timer. So it's going to go to our right timer, power in. And then the branch out, actually I'll just, for simplicity's sake, branch out is going to go to the power in of our minute counter. And we're done with this branch for now. Now this second splitter, so we split off the power from here. The second splitter is going to go to a timer, our first timer, a blocker, and another branch. So I'm going to put the timer over here. And this timer is going to set, we're just making the clock that's going to run for seconds here. So we're going to take one output from here, from our splitter, and we're going to put it to the power in of our timer. I'm going to power this on just for now so that I can set this timer to 1 second. Power it back off. Then from here, I'm going to place a blocker, and then this power, second power, is going to come to the power in of our blocker. This timer is going to go to our block pass-through on our blocker, and then we're going to need another electrical branch. The power out from our blocker is going to go to the power in of our branch. We're going to keep the default 2 branch, and we're going to branch out the power to the toggle on of the timer. So you can see this will run once every second. So it's a feedback loop. It's going to count 1 second every time. So if this was set up an increment counter, if we plugged it in, it would go up 1 every second on the counter. Just so this isn't making a bunch of noise, I'm going to turn it off for now. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to power out, and this is going to go to the increment counter on our second timer. On our second counter, actually, rather. So you should be able to see every second it goes up. Pretty cool. Now, we still have this output here on our splitter, and this is going to go to another electrical branch. I'm going to put it away from everything else. This is just going to go to the power in of this branch. And we're going to need to branch off 5 power from this. And we're going to need another timer and the second blocker. So this timer is going to be how long you want the sprinklers to run for. So like I said, I'm running every 5 minutes for 60 seconds. electrical tool, and the power out of the branch is going to go to the power in of the timer. I'm going to turn this on for now so I can activate this for 60 seconds and turn this back off. Now our branch out, I'm going to put this blocker probably right beside the other blocker. The branch out of this guy is going to the power in of our second blocker, and then our power out is going to go to another branch here. Sorry, at another splitter. And while we're at this splitter, these are going to be the power off for the pump. So we just power off, switch off, switch off, and switch off. Switch off. And these are going to go to our switch ons, but we'll worry about that in a second. Alright, so we need 2 more electrical branches. We're almost done. 2 more electrical branches. So from the power out of the timer, we're going to another electrical branch. This time we're branching off to power, same as before. And this branch out is going to the clear counter of our minute timer. So this is just a clear function. Don't worry about this. It should all get set up. It should all be pretty straightforward. Then we need a second branch here. Power out of the branch into the next branch. And from here we're branching off for power. The power out, actually I'll put it up, is going to come into the block pass-through on our branch. And the branch out is going to go to our final splitter. And these splitters are going to the power on of the pump. Switch on. Switch on. Switch on. Sweet. So we have all of our pumps hooked up. We have all of our splitters hooked up. Now we need to deal with these counters. So all of these should be hooked up. Now we still have a toggle on here as well. So we need our final branch, and I'm going to place that down here. The power out of the second timer, so the one that counts seconds, is going to that new branch. This is going to this. So then from here, we're just branching to power still. From the branch out, we're going to the clear counter of the second timer. We're going to clear counter so that when this has a pass through, so when this gets to 60, it's going to clear it and it's going to start over. And our power out, oh sorry, we're on this branch. The power out of this branch is going to the increment counter on our minute timer, so that when this reaches 60, it'll clear it and give a signal to this one to go up by 1 minute. So it should look, just for simplicity's sake, if I set this to, some kid just commied a mini into me. What the fuck? Alright, so if I set this to, I don't know, well we're almost there, 30, so I'll set it to 40. set this to 40, you should see that this should go up by 1 when it hits 40. It does, and then it resets back to 0. So I'm going to put this back to 60, and I'm going to turn this, swear to God, if this kid comes over here. Alright, this kid keeps kamikazing minis into my area. I need to get this done pretty quickly. Okay, that's fucking funny. Alright, then from our pass-through of our minute timer, we are going to bring it back down to the toggle on of our branch. So like I said, I set this one, sorry, the power in, the toggle on of our timer here. So if I turn this on, it all should work. I'm going to set this to 2 minutes so that it runs every 2 minutes, just so that we can see here, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to survive here with this guy kamikazing minis into me. But you're going to set how long you want your sprinklers to run for on this second timer, and then how often you want it to run right here. So if everything is hooked up correctly, once this reaches 2 minutes, it should turn on all these pumps, and they should stay on for 60 seconds. But they are on. They don't have any water, I guess, which is strange because I've hooked everything up to these. But we don't have any water right now, or else these sprinklers would be running. There should be a couple second delay as well. The off, see there they go. It should be off by a couple seconds on from your main counter, but that's fine. So that's the setup here. This is how I have my base set up, and it makes sure that my plants stay good while I'm offline, and if any of my plants break, it'll just keep the water sustained. Each one of these sprinklers takes about 2 milliliters per sprinkler, so that's 6, and another 3, because I think each one of these fluid pumps lose 1 water, so make sure you have at least 9 water per second coming into this this water barrel. But we don't have any water coming in because this is just a test server. So that's the setup. Like I said, I'll have the XML in the description of this video, so you can import it into Rustician if you want to play around with it. Once again, you need 65 power, and thanks for watching.